You've heard about it in countless movies and shows.
I'm not going to the bunker. Sir, not going to the bunker.
A top secret bunker outfitted to protect the president from major security threats. Now in real life. As the controversy continues around President Trump's demolition of the East Wing of the White House to make way for a new grand ballroom, there's fresh talk about what's happening underground. That bunker was bulldozed along with the rest of the East Wing. NBC News can report that it will be rebuilt and upgraded, according to one former White House official and two sources familiar with the East Wing renovations. A White House spokesman declined to comment in response to questions about a new presidential bunker, but it's something the White House Director of Management and Administration hinted at during a recent meeting of the National Capital Planning Commission about the ballroom construction.
There are some things regarding this project that are, frankly, of top secret nature.
Adding, we're making necessary security enhancements as part of the construction. The space was called the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, or PEOC.
And where's the PEOC?
For your information, miss, it's the one room in the house that no one knows the location of.
WikiLeaks says it's under the East Wing.
And though it's a constant presence in pop culture, it's not really talked about publicly. Its mere existence seldom confirmed by officials and seen rarely in White House photos. Captured every once in a while, though. You can see former Vice President Dick Cheney and Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice in the bunker on 9/11, along with other top White House officials. President George W. Bush was there later, according to photos from the National Archives, before his address to the nation. We're not talking about the Situation Room, which is available 24/7 and used regularly for secure meetings. According to the White House Historical Association, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt ordered the construction of the secret underground bunker in 1941 in case of emergency after the attack on Pearl Harbor. The East Wing was expanded on top. Fast forward 80 years, President Trump went down there during his first term in June of 2020, as protests erupted near the White House in response to the killing of George Floyd. The president confirming he went, but disputed reporting it was due to the protests.
And I went down during the day, and I was there for a tiny, little short period of time, and it was much more for an inspection.
You might remember this moment in the aftermath. Now virtually no details are known about the plans for this new and improved bunker and what it will look like in the end. For now, the president has taken quite an interest in the project, and the administration says it hopes it will be completed by the time his term ends in 2029. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.